Did you know that 54% of Americans, including me, have trouble with organization? What's so hard about organization? All you have to do is make your bed, do your laundry, clean your carpet, occasionally organize a shelf, and wow, that's a lot. And that's just my room, and that's just the peak of it. So the question still stands. How do you become organized? Well, I know everybody has their different way of becoming organized, but what will one more hurt? So here are my steps to organization. First off, I am not organized at all. I'm probably the least organized person that I know. I'm so unorganized that my parents bought me a book on organization, and within the first week or so, I lost it. Don't tell my parents. Don't worry, the story does have a happy ending. Within a week or so, I did find my book. But there's a problem with that. Most things that you find within a week or so, it's pretty much lost its value. So let's say I'm going to McDonald's and I have this coupon that's like for 2 more days, and I lose it for a week. If I lose my McDonald's coupon for a week, I'm not getting my Happy Meal. And that does not make me happy. Another thing with losing things is it's so stressful. Take it from somebody who loses their personal items way too often than a normal person should. Looking for everything everywhere all the time is not fun. I honestly find it easier to try and be organized. Emphasis on the try. Which leads me into my first tip. Calendars. Calendars are the only thing keeping me alive right now. I love them so much that I have 2 of them. You might be asking, why do I need 2 calendars? I'll explain. So I like to have one for my personal life, like hangouts with friends, or sporting events, and then one for my school life, like upcoming tests or assignments that I have to do. But there is one small problem. The calendars can be too small. I suggest that you pick one that fits you best, because it's all about what fits you. You know you better than I know you. But some of the boxes in these calendars are this small. And if you're a cool person and likes to do bullet points like me, then you would know that that is not enough room. Another stay away from with calendars is calendars with lines. I actually hate these. They have around 3 to 4 lines in your average calendar. And us students know that we have around 7 to 8 subjects. And assuming that each subject gives out at least 1 piece of homework, the math doesn't add up. That's why I like to get the calendars with the fair-sized boxes and even with the notes on the side. I personally find it helpful. My second step is binders and folders, and these 2 work as a team. So, I know this system works, because a few days ago, I was in class and my teacher complimented it. He was like, wow, you have such a nice folder. And I was like, thank you. It is a basic blue folder with the word work spelled in all caps in black marker. Now, you might be wondering, okay, that doesn't sound organized at all. Even borderline slobbish. What I say to that is, well, I like to have it all in one place. I find it that if you have everything all scattered in your book bag, then it's just inconvenient. And when I go home, I want to open one thing to find everything. Now you might be wondering now, what about the binder that you mentioned earlier? Well, I like to use the binder for past assignments or study guide notes that I can use for future references. Now again, get what fits you. You could get your average plastic binder that's in triangular form, so it's really inconvenient to put in your lockers and stuff. Or the type I like to get, which is the file binder. I like it better because you know exactly where everything is. And it's in a rectangular form, so if you want to stack things on it, then it's way easier. My third step is kind of weird. Everybody has a system, whether you realize it or not. I know I'll go in my room, get on my phone, do my homework. That's my system. So what I'm suggesting is find out what your system is and stop it ahead of time. Okay, and I know we're not in the Terminator movie, guys. I'm not talking about going back in time. I'm talking about stopping it before it happens. So listen to this. Let's say I have a coat, and every day when I walk into my room, I drop it right on the floor near my door. Easy solution, put a hook near the door. Then when you go to drop off your coat, you can just put it there instead of putting it on your floor because you're too lazy to go to the hanger. Or if you like to study in your room, and you are constantly finding books on your bed or on your floor, put your books on your desk. Some people would say just clean your room every once in a while, but I just find it easier to just not do anything at all. Which leads me into my fourth and final tip. I have just given you a 6-minute speech about organization. Please, for the love of everything good, use it. And do not tell me you do not have time, because we are here this afternoon listening to my speech about organization. We have time. And if you don't believe me, here are some things that you might do that you might not even realize. For instance, TV shows and Netflix. I spend about 30 to 2 hours a day on Netflix, Amazon, YouTube, all of that. If I would just cut down 30 minutes of that time, I would be good. Or calling a friend. And I know this is different, because instead of screaming at a TV screen on your reality TV shows, you're screaming at an actual person. But if they're actually a friend, then they will realize you have work to do and will let you be. A saying I like to live by is work before play. I feel like it explains it perfectly. But there is a common misconception, which is why I came up with another thing, balance. Life needs balance. I'm not saying don't have friends, don't have fun, just work. I am saying find a midpoint. You can play your video games, but you also have to get your work done. And as Mr. Miyagi once said in The Karate Kid, whole life have balance, everything be better. Thank you.